G'day and welcome! From the dawn of November 23rd, 2004, like a tide of crowd control and dickery, they came. At any time of the day, the cries of players everywhere could be heard on the horizon. Whether you were leveling, traveling, or even standing in the middle of your goddamn base, they were there, waiting. In the shadows, these masters of stealth and annoyance are incredibly satisfying to play. So I'm going to tell you 5 reasons to rogue. Number 5. The need for speed. In many forms of combat, speed can and is your greatest ally. The rogue is a shining example of this fact, having an extreme abundance of movement speed increasing abilities and even just straight up teleportation. These masters of fleet can really move around the battlefield. Sprint and burst of speed allow you to increase your leg momentum by 70%, 100% for sprint if glyphed. Burst of even having a built-in snare removal with each use. Looking for a more direct approach when closing in on your enemies to drive a blade deep into their warm, still beating hearts. Blanket and small blade grants you the ability to leap off any height and gracefully bend space and time, then land directly behind your target and stab them in the ass. Shadow Step is similar, but can be used out of stealth and even on allies. Oh yeah, you can even run on water. Number 4. Tools of the trade. Daggers, swords, poisons, dirt, and all this other stuff. There are 3 ways these masters of murder can use these items: assassination, subtlety, and combat. Assassination and subtlety make use of your shorter tools of death, the daggers. These shanks are coated with a potent combination of slowing effects, damaging effects, reduce the healing that your enemy would receive. Assassination makes full use of your poisons. Building combo points with Mutilate and Dispatch, you will then finish opponents with a powerful strike known as Envenom. This will increase your application of your toxins and leave your victims in a terrible state of pain. Subtlety. Using your intense speed, this form of combat is mainly focused on leaving many cuts on your victims, so they then bleed to death on the ground at your feet, or simply slamming your dagger into their back as many times as possible. Then of course, combat. Don't let the generalized name of this spec fool you, as you will be using your one-handed tools of death at such a fast speed, the flurry of your attacks will leave corpses that only the top-ranked detective agencies will be able to identify the bodies.
Well, knife murders are sloppy.
Doesn't make sense if you're dealing with an amateur, but we are looking for a pro.
Number 3. A body without limit. A rogue. Yes, they are very deadly with their mastery of weapons, but they can push the limits of their bodies to superhuman levels. Or super gnome, or orc, undead. You get the idea. With all 3 specs comes with their own unique ways of dispensing bladed backhands to anything and everyone. Assassination has vendetta. After the application of this ability, you will be overwhelmed with the urge to kill the target as soon as possible. Not only will this increase the damage you deal to the target by 30%, but for the next 20-second duration, you'll be overcome with a British accent, talk like a character from the works of Shakespeare, with a 5% chance of triggering a revolution. Subtlety. Entering the realm of shadow, you dance around your enemies, becoming an ethereal being of murder. You can use all stealth abilities for 10 seconds, and of course reducing the energy cost to top it all off. Combat, the art of brutalizing your opponents with an overwhelming amount of attacks. Push your rogue into overdrive with moves like Killing Spree. bringing both weapons down on your enemy 7 times in just 4 seconds. And Red Bull Rush, attack speed, energy regen, and global cooldowns. Well... Number 2. Styles of the Hunt. In nature, one of the most powerful assets you can have is the ability not to be seen when stalking a potential meal or trying to avoid, you know, death. Being out of sight has many advantages. As shown here, the rogue is stalking a potential victim whilst being completely undetected by this poor player. This rogue is truly an asshole, as he gives 0 fucks about his target's level and chooses to show his dominance by killing for sport. Because if fighting opponents his side would lead to him forum raging about every other class in WoW. This next specimen we like to call the Joker. Most likely undergeared from just reaching max level, he makes up for this flaw by simply getting into the head of his target, hindering the player with sapping techniques, then retreating to a safe distance while the target, fueled with paranoia, will spam the area with AoE in an attempt to find the culprit. Another breed of rogue is the Prime. This sinister creature is very dangerous. Most likely only ever having played a rogue for 7 to 8 years, they are the embodiment of fear and pain. No matter what area of content this majestic murderer attends, they do very well and gain a high amount of respect from their fellow players. This style of rogue is somewhat rare, but approach at your own risk. Number 1. Not a care in the World of Warcraft. Okay, finally, in my personal opinion, no other class in the game has as much fun as a rogue. Whether your preferred content is PvP or PvE, there is something for everyone when it comes to the rogue. Some things I love about this class is your ability just to straight up break the rules. Don't feel like killing all those mobs in between you and that quest item? No problem. Doing legacy raid content for some of the most loved transmog items in the game? No problem. You are confronted by enemies that not only outgear you, but outnumber you as well. No problem. Feel like your moves just didn't look cool enough when stabbing your enemies? No problem. I could go on for hours about the amount of shit your mischievous ass can get up to when playing a rogue. But believe me when I say, sometimes when I play this class, it feels like a totally different game. Well, that's it for the rogue for now. I can imagine some people absolutely hate these guys for their ability just to mess with people. But I can't deny that sometimes, just sometimes, messing around with other players in WoW is just awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the future content. And as always, good luck, and if you run into a rogue in the arena with game sounds on, may Thrall have mercy on your soul.